things that you love are absolutely timeless. If you really love them, they're timeless. Hi, my name is Judy Aldridge, and this is my handmade home in Fort Worth, Texas. My connection to art actually is more of a recent thing. I started adding to my art collection and just completely fell in love with collecting art. I just love to see the way that other people express themselves. And I was primarily collecting vintage art, but then I thought, okay, well, these artists have kind of come and gone. And then I thought, I really can support new and upcoming artists, knowing how hard it is to break into that world. It really started with Instagram and constantly changing my house around. My Instagram handle is @AtlantisHome, and I just love that whole design community. You can meet someone who is just as far out as you are, who are people that are much crazier than I am with their designs, so I love that. I moved into this house 15 years ago. It looked really, really bad. It was terrible. This horrible carpet that I'm not even sure what color it was originally because it had been on the ground for so long. It was just filth. And lots of chintzy or little dainty wallpapers. And it was kind of a mess. And lots of country and western railing, like a country and western bar. But I liked the bones of it. That kind of had that modern vibe that I liked. My sister and I, we acid washed the floors because I didn't want to put wood floors down. So those have evolved a bit, but this is like the foundation. The concrete floors give it kind of a lofty feel. I've always felt like this is a house that's very casual. And if you try to add things that are very fancy, it just doesn't work. It would look pretentious or out of place. I think it should be a very simple place. I would describe my style, it's really hard because I think the word eclectic is just overused. So I'm gonna say that it's evolving, that it's collected, and hopefully it's cool. Right now, we're in my living room. Some of my favorite things in this space, one of them is this basket that I found at the thrift store, which was a great find. I know a lot of people remember this from my Instagram. It was a big deal. Everyone was freaking out when I found it. And so his name is Stuart. That's one of my favorite things. I love my Rob Eckhart chairs. The way that I started adding color back into my life was the purchase of the hot pink chairs. People always call them red, and they're not, they're hot pink. When you pull up the top rooms on Instagram or whatever, there's a lot of beige, there's a lot of gray, there's a lot of white. When I bought these into my house, it was just like kind of life-changing. I just thought, wow, this is really fun. I want more of this. So one of my favorite pieces is this horse, and unfortunately we can't decipher the name of the artist, but it was actually like an edition of 19. It makes you really wonder where the other 18 of these exist. So this pineapple is from Mexico. It's from the Michoacan region. They're really known for this style of, I believe it's terracotta. This is one of the larger ones. And I don't recommend importing one because it was a real challenge to get it here. I have a lot of books because I think people talk about meditation. For me, books, that's my meditation. And I reference design constantly. I'm always like, oh, what about that? Or I remember that image. I want to go back and see that image because there was something I liked about it. Then I also have a lot of vintage books. And some of the 80s design is so inspiring to me, or old Santa Fe design. Now we are in my dining room. I do like to cook, so I wanted to have a nice place where we could sit down and have a nice dinner. But also I wanted it to be a multitasking, multifunctional space where I could have my reference books, put my computer, sit down and get some work done too. Of note, the Saarinen table. It's the only new piece of furniture in my house. I gave in to my husband and we got the Saarinen table and I do love it. It's really nice and it's a little bit smaller and so it kind of fits the space a little bit better. So this is my kitchen. For me, I will always have an all-white kitchen. I want a place that's bright and cheerful. I wanted a farm table as opposed to a kitchen island because I just wanted it to feel more like your grandma's kitchen. For me, open shelving works. These are the bowls that I make my dog's dog food in this. So these are definitely the things that I use. So this is my entryway. I change it around a lot. Sometimes I'll have a cool long table here, some great lighting, sculpture. But right now, it is definitely just reflecting the whole art gallery feeling from the living room with just a lot of great pieces of art and the Warren Plattner chair. Let's go upstairs. You know, I'm just constantly inspired by vintage pieces. It's not just about saving money, but it's about making your home look like your own space instead of like, oh, I know you just got that at so-and-so. It makes it look collected instead of just purchased. Right now we're upstairs in my loft, and this is my favorite room in the house. It's where I come to have a cup of tea. Some of my favorite things are these busts, which are vintage Horchow, and I found them in a dusty old shop in Arizona and drove my husband crazy because I had to hand carry them back on the plane, and he was just like, no, can we just please leave them? And I was like, no, these have to come with us. So they kind of dictated the rest of our trip. I made these paintings from paper mache the frames and then did the little flat canvases, but the frames are supposed to be kind of a funny take on faux bois. The thing that I love about paper mache is the freedom. You have to just make whatever the heck you want. And it's cheap, and it's like recycling, and it's not too precious. When you're dealing with flour, water, and newspaper, it's like, I can just mess this up and no one's gonna care. This is for my grandson that's on the way, and I'm so excited. So this is Henry's nursery. My design approach to this room was just, I'm not gonna buy anything for this nursery other than the crib. Literally everything else I have, the rug, the curtains, all the art. This painting on the wall, my daughter Jane did, and it's like a little baby dinosaur, so I thought it was just perfect to have in Henry's nursery. The thing that I love most about design, I guess, is just the freedom to make your space look the way that you want it to look. So design makes your life better. If you like this tour, subscribe to Handmade for more videos just like this.